Would you accept money like this? Would you saw the water flip off of this? This is my check. Soaking wet. It rained. That looks great. I didn't even see that. There's mud. There's mud on here. The bills are wet. Put these on a vent or something. Like, come on. This was my boss. Clearly was my boss. Was. This is not acceptable. This is straight up stupidity. This is monkey activity. Monkey activity. Yeah. This. If you are a boss, don't pay your people like this. Don't pay your employees like this. He left my money. Like, this nigga is on a plane and they're like, I'm gonna go get out some cash and I'll drop it off to you in your mailbox. Mailbox would have been safer. Yeah, no. The mailbox would have been safer. This nigga left it under a flower pot and it rained. So the bills are wet. Mailboxes have shelter, you know, so I don't know why we didn't use that. The flower pots out there are the neighbors. Like, I don't have no flower pots out there. I ain't trying to touch other people's stuff, right? I would have never looked under a flower pot. You told me the mailbox. Hey, yeah, I don't know where to start. I really have been trying to put my best foot forward and, you know, my work ethic. And I guess we could just go from, because I still feel a type of way about it. We have a work relationship prior to this, and she was mixing work and personal stuff, she was telling me. So when I had brought that up, that she was feeling overwhelmed, we should have had a meeting about that. Because you are the boss, right? I'm trying to listen to what the instructions are, what my to-do list is, to answer the reader emails, and to complete any packets that were being sent to me. I've only received like 2 or 3 packets, and I've been trying to do my best answering the reader emails and going through the document. The document is, I don't know how to explain it. There's links that don't work. People's information is incorrect. So whoever first wrote this, it really needs, I think, more than one person to go through this. But with the situation, she had brought up health issues that are not my responsibility. They really should have been brought up to you. I had a long message that was sent to me that was totally coming out of her neck. It was not brought up appropriately at all. Trying to say she vouched for me and stuff, and putting her work ethic on the line. It's screwing up her health, it sounds like. So that has nothing to do with me. She was also hinting at the fact that it sounded like she was looking through my timesheets, because she was trying to say, I manage the timesheets for the volunteers, and it seems like you're only doing this many hours of work. So I just thought you should know that. It sounds like she's going through the Adobe once I upload them and trying to look through that information, which I would assume would just be between me and you. So I just thought that was...
No, she doesn't see us at all. I know the only thing we talked about in the group chat earlier, like way back, is about how much people were working in the beginning. But other than that, she should have no reason to know what hours you're working. She
told me it was hinting at in this long drawn out message that she was looking at my hours that I was working. You're not doing as many hours. I have a son to take care of. I don't pay for daycare. And so between 7 and 11 or 7 and midnight, that's when I can put my best foot forward. That's where I can be the most focused. So she has a child that is 10 years old. That child is in school for most of the day, so she can fart around and do whatever, right? So she can put those hours in. I'm being asked from your commands to just focus on the reader emails, explicitly what has been discussed in the chat or whatever. Yeah. Now with the check situation, this has happened before, and they have expedited my check. I would have to go pick it up, like when somebody had goofed up the payroll. So I would just like to ask for the bonus. I'm waiting for the to speak with or even call the to see if I can get my bonus, because you said we would get 3 of them. We have to wait until the end of our completion of this job to get all 3 bonuses, or would they not be paid out throughout this process? Because that was unclear.
Yeah, is not the most helpful person, so I can send you the emails I've sent to her,
Mm-hmm.
and she has not responded to some of my questions, asking for more information, and she said that they will not be given out until the end. And she told me and who also was onboarded with me for her organization that's the case. And like, she didn't even know about it at all when we brought it up. So when we first brought it up, she said, I don't know anything about this. And she responded with some letter and said that yeah, this is what it is actually. And then it again was not very clear. She said have submit documentation of the hours they worked with this document. Like this isn't a document, this is just letting us know what the bonus situation is. And she's never responded to that, actually twice now, almost like purposely not responding. And then she kind of had like an angry response about, I told you all to submit with the document. A little later when I asked again, and so I think I might have to just follow up with the, because she's not really being clear at all, but she has said that it's not until the end, and she told that as well, that it's not until the end that the bonus is given. So I'm not even sure about the 3 times, because she didn't answer that either. So if you can find out from her, that would be great, but I have to follow up with the.
Yeah, I'll follow up with that, but I'm just letting you know that today is going to be my last day. We can't mess up people's money. I had my electricity to keep my house warm, that pulled, and I should have been paid. So my account went into the negatives, and I had an overdraft fee because I'm expecting to get paid. So that affected my life. I don't like it when my money gets messed up and the mix around situation. So I'm gonna go ahead and email you. I'll do some hours tonight, but I'll go ahead and email you my last timesheet.
Okay. So okay, a couple questions I have. About the next situation. I apologize.
She took it very personally. It was out of her neck talking. It was not this professional facade that she puts up. Is not. I'm not mixing personal friendships with work relationships. That's not how it works. And so she unfriended me and did all this little shisty stuff behind the scenes. That's why I thought we were gonna have a meeting. I'm like, don't do that. Just stick to the work. That's it. So whatever facade, she's not a team player. You're working with somebody that is not a team player. I'll send you it's personal, but if you need it, I'll send you the message where she was talking out of her neck. It was not professional. It was like, this is coming as a friend. No, we keep it professional. If you're emailing me, if you're messaging me, you need to keep it whatever's going on. I'm not trying to do that. I don't bring up what's going on with me unless it's truly affected me. Like that, when my account went negative, that affected me, so I needed to say something. But I don't try to bring personal stuff into my work, because I'm not trying to have it mess up my work. Okay. So
no, yeah, I apologize, because that's not something that I definitely did not tell her to say anything like that. She was not speaking on behalf of the whatsoever. If that happened, and so if it's something that you would like addressed, I can try to address that with her if you want to send that over, but that is nothing that she did in any way.
If you look through the messages, she got very defensive. Basically, the bottom. I
noticed that time when there was like a change.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that was nothing that happened in any way on behalf of or myself.
That was very personal. I just said she sounded very overwhelmed. I didn't say that. Okay. If you, I have the receipts. I have the proof that she privately messaged me on Facebook and just was very defensive and upset that she's doing all this work and feeling overwhelmed. Well, then the work I'm a person, just give me a list and I can work through it. I like to be an independent worker. I thought what I was doing for my time here was the best of my ability. She got a kid in school. That's what she's not understanding. I'm doing this with a child at home that cannot go anywhere else besides grandma's house.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely a lot. I love that. Yeah, no, I apologize for that. I just wanted to make it clear that I was in no way at all on behalf of it. It was something she did of her own volition. So I apologize for that.
Okay.
I guess, so my questions are twofold. One is, so when everything first started, I made it clear to us, and I mentioned to you, and she said, always be careful to expect the money to come that early. She said Friday is the day that you should expect the money to come.
Right, so that's why I waited, right. Just to check with everybody, yeah.
Okay.
Because we were supposed to, this pay period, we were supposed to get paid Wednesday. Everybody got paid Tuesday. So that's why I had messaged yesterday, which was Thursday.
Okay. When I was speaking about the overdraft part, because like that overdraft part was something, the expectation the money would come a little earlier. And it was my fault this time. But having that wait until Friday would have allowed for the money to come now. Because I mean, the reason I tried to rush last night and get it to you is because you said there was the overdraft. Otherwise, I could have, probably gotten it to you today. I have to drive to Oshkosh this morning right now. But yeah, so that in that sense, definitely was my fault. But waiting till Friday, it might have made it a little less, I guess, urgent. And then in regards to, can you see though? I see where I had no direction as to know what to do last night. So I was like, I don't want to wake your son. I know you're very particular about the times he goes to sleep. It's very late.
Yeah, it's okay to at least, like, when it's a money exchange, to at least ring the doorbell. Like, if you're just leaving like a check has my name. Nobody else can cash a check. If money, anybody can mess with that.
Right. That's why I was great. I didn't want to take a chance. There wasn't the right house. I didn't want the doorbell from somebody else's house. I had no direction, and I just wanted to be safe. That I put it under somewhere kind of, a bit hidden, so that in the morning I could at least say okay, so, and it wasn't raining. I had no reason it was going to rain. I had no way to know that.
Yeah. Most of the time, you could just do the mailbox. If for the future, for anybody else, a mailbox, or like I have a screen door. Amazon will just open my screen door so it's between the doors,
But that's assuming it's the right place.
Right.
I've never been there. I had no direction to know for sure. So in that moment, it was very unclear what to do. I just wanted to be safe to make sure you got the money, and so it was not an easy decision in that moment. I thought you were going to be up, and I texted. So yeah, I apologize, but I hope you can see that in that moment, that was difficult to know what to exactly do. And
right.
I was trying to best effort to get the money too. I definitely apologize. It was my fault on the board. But so no, I understand you making a short ass day. I guess my question then also is, what happens then when the check comes? Because that's my money I'm giving you just to make up for it not coming. So when the check comes from Milwaukee, what happens then?
I think you need to contact, because this had nothing to do with me. I simply submitted my payroll.
Right, I know that, actually, but I'm saying the money's going to go to you. That was the whole agreement for why
I didn't even get paid my full amount.
I know you were going to. That's what I'm saying, is when it comes, I'm going to submit the timesheet, everything's going to come still to you. The whole agreement in the chat we just had was, I'm giving you money as a fund. So when you get it, you can give it to me back. So they're going to send you the check still. You're going to get the money still.
I'm going to have to wait a month for that. You can take my bonus, or however that works. You could take my bonus, work it out with...
Actually, I can't do any of that. We just talked about this in the message that this would be something I'm giving you of my personal money so that you can pay me back when it gives it to you. If you're a credit union, they're not going to give me any money. They are set up to pay you. So the only way that you agreed in the messenger was to pay.
I didn't sign anything, but I understand what you're coming from.
Right, but you have to understand, this isn't a signed thing. This is just a person-to-person agreeing in the message. That was very clear. I said twice that I'm giving you the money up front, and the only way I will get it back is if you pay me back.
So we need to talk with to expedite my check, is what I had initially said.
No, I get that, but they won't. I talked to them, said they won't do that because she's not going to submit the timesheet. It's on her. So he said he will not do that until it comes to this pay period now.
Right, but as an employee, how would you feel if your boss just didn't pay you and was on a plane?
I do this a billion times.
Yeah, I've done payroll too. I've never messed up anybody's payroll. I was in labor and I paid somebody. So I don't make up excuses when it messes up other people's money. I was literally in labor and I told my husband, my instructor needs to be paid, okay?
I it's very admirable. I respect that. I'm saying that human beings make mistakes commonly in life. I have a lot going on and I forgot to submit your timesheet. I apologize for that. I feel like I've gone out of my way showing you that I'm trying to pay you ahead of time. Other employers probably would say, oh, we made a mistake.
No, they've expedited. When I worked with Nextdoor Foundation, my car got stolen and they expedited my check because they wanted to end the contract. They didn't want to pay for my car repairs because I explained at the very beginning of this partnership relationship that I didn't feel comfortable about driving or whatever to get to do the orientation. When my car was stolen from Nextdoor Foundation, they expedited my check so I would be paid the next day. So
I understand. I need you to take a second and just listen to what I'm trying to explain myself. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, because you can't pay people, obviously, right? Right, so you should not be in charge of paying people. That's a critical mistake, my nigga. People's lives depend on it. I ain't even got time to argue with you, bro. You know, man, you ain't got your shit together. That's the problem.
process my check.
I ain't here.
That's how I said everything in my name. When it's money, it can get funny. I said that from the start. Businesses, when they do that, is not professional. So that
Something that any time that somebody missed payroll, we could just then do payroll ourselves. This isn't my, the thing is.
or do you have like a petty check? Y'all don't have petty checks.
I don't know, sorry, I don't know what that is. What I'm saying is that I don't have control over. I can't tell them what to do. Like, whereas in my company, when I manage the company, and I manage the company now, I could just easily submit payroll because I manage the payroll. This isn't something I manage. I'm just merely sending them a timesheet and then they
Right, and they process. I understand.
So that's the difference here, is that I don't have power to just submit it. If I did, I could easily, you're right. If it was my business, if it was my company, I could easily just go ahead and say, oh.
How many people are you in charge of? Is it me and payroll? Or is it other
Yes.
people?
It's
It's
just
two
those two.
people.
It's just two, right?
It's two people.
Yes. Right. What's your point then? I
It's
forgot.
two people that you are responsible for to make sure they get paid for the work that they do. Two
Yes, and that's
people.
why
How did they get paid?
I felt it's this exact same way. Hers came through in an email that I just sent her right away. I had to go back into Adobe for yours, and that's why I swore I said that.
You said to drop them into Adobe.
Yes, I'm not blaming you. It's my fault. I'm just saying the different process.
And I sent an email, hey, did you get my payroll? There was no response to that, so I'm like, okay, I gotta assume.
I can't change what they do, so they're not gonna pay you anything because it didn't meet the bonus. So you just, I guess, keep that. I just lose out, and I wish you the best, but you'll get the other check. I'll submit the timesheet. You'll get that. So.
Thank you very much.
Fucking no need for that, bro. No need to.
Alright, we just doing this video as I get ready. We gonna sit in the chair, but welcome to my channel. We gonna be talking about how I was hired by somebody in prison. I was actually employed and doing a job, and it's just it's just so unprofessional. We need to talk about it. I don't even know where to start. Alright, I'm restarting this video. I have a bunch of other clips just to show y'all that you saw at the beginning of this, but here we go. Hi guys, my name is Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. This channel is usually about crafting and owning small businesses. I have a crafting business where I make rugs and I do stationery, cute stuff, and I also have a yoga business. So I'm usually showing behind the scenes stuff about that. And I don't normally do sit down videos because I always have a little one running around. So right now it's nap time if you hear the sound machine, but welcome back or welcome to my channel. So this video, we're gonna try to just go through this as quick as I can so I can get this off my chest and while the thoughts are fresh in my mind, because we already had to charge this camera. So I got a new battery and I had to take a bathroom break, but we're gonna do this in one sitting. So where do we start? So I have a work relationship with a former friend and they had recommended that I apply for this position. I want to stress when I have work relationships, they stay as work relationships. I don't try to mix personal relationships with work relationships. That's where you can mess up. From somebody who's been in business for 7 years now, 8 years, I don't know. Since I was 19 years old, I was owning businesses, and now I'm 26. Don't ever mix your work and personal relationships, and that's what they were trying to do. If I slip up and say the person or people's names, it will be muted. I will do my best to mute it, but honestly, I don't care at this point. So anyway, this person had recommended I apply for this position. You can work from home, you work from a computer, and the premise of this position is to provide incarcerated people upon re-entry with resources. So finding housing resources in certain counties, finding job employment opportunities, medical opportunities, legal help, in this very long document that we're constantly adding new information to. We're gonna get to that doc in a sec. But so I apply, it states for 16 an hour, and the boss is like, we're trying to get funding to do 20 an hour. I never got 20 an hour, but I'm like, this is 16 an hour. I can stay at home and I can set a block of time when I can get the work done. So before we get into the schedule and all that, so my work partner picks me up because I didn't feel comfortable traveling into Milwaukee because my car had been stolen before, and I stressed that to my boss, and he's like, this is the only opportunity, or not opportunity, this is the only time that you will need to drive into Milwaukee, but everything else can be done remotely. So I'm like, all right. My friend picks me up and we go there, do the orientation. They would not let me keep any paperwork. The only paperwork I remember receiving was when payroll would be paid, when it's processed, and when it would be paid to my account, which was never consistent. Some days was Tuesday, some days was Wednesdays, and they say it's probably gonna be every Friday or every other Friday. Never got one on a Friday for the short time that I was there. And this was a temp position. I was trying to stick it out. During the orientation, they said that there was going to be a bonus at the end of the 6 weeks after onboarding. After the onboarding process of 6 weeks or to a month or whatever it was, you should receive your first bonus. No clarification of that. Was not able to keep the paperwork for that. It was supposed to be $650. Never received that. Then I tell the boss that, and he has no recollection, no knowledge of it. How do you not know what people are supposed to be getting paid and all that, but you the boss? Oh, I don't process checks and stuff. You submit that, we send him the pay, our timesheets, and then he sends it over so that we can be paid from like the employed place or whatnot. I know, confusing. So my premise, I'm just supposed to find resources, add them to this document. So I'm going through and answering emails from, I'm gonna call them prisoners. We are supposed to use a language, but at this point, I don't care. These people did something to be in this situation that they're in, and I'm supposed to be helping these people, which I already felt iffy about. I felt iffy about because some people may have been innocent. They never tell their story, but like you'll get reader email replies from people like, hey, I need help finding employment in this county, and then if we do have a resource or resources from that county, I can copy and paste that and reply to them. And so some people had very offensive charges, if you know what I'm hinting at, and then they would be demanding like respect, or like sometimes I would just get complaints from these emails coming in, and you know, there's not much I can say, so it'd have to be like a short robotic reply, right? And so that's why I'm asking my husband Carrie, I'm like, I don't know if I want to stay with this, and he's just like, you can quit whenever you need to, you quit. But like, that's not in me to quit and just give up, you know. I was really trying to stick this out. It was only a 6-month position, right? Because I did not feel comfortable helping people that harmed others, if you know what I mean. So some of the replies had said that they had 20-year sentences because they did something like this. I'm going to be released. They've been in there in the 1980s, the 90s. I'm about to be released. Do you know about resources? And I'd have to respond to that. I did not feel comfortable doing that. That was one thing that I did not like about the job. Several things. Anyway, so after orientation, all that, we're getting our feet wet. We're going. I'm in all of these group chats. The thing is not the boss did not have this organized at all. There was too many platforms to try to contact and communicate with. We had a Facebook group where it was just me and the boss and one other person, my coworker, friend person. And then there's a Google group, there's Asana, there's Airtable, I don't know. There's so many platforms that information could easily be missed because you're not checking them all, you know what I mean? One thing I said, because they're like, you know, this is a new position with new responsibilities, so we're still kind of learning the roles and things like that. So it's helpful that you are new coming in, Ashley, you know, talking to me, so that we have an outsider that can look in to see what improvements could be made. And the first thing I said was, we need to have just one solid platform everyone is communicating on. You don't need Asana, Facebook Messenger, email, that's too much. If you're trying to keep it organized, that's too much. That was the first thing. That never got resolved in any way or any capacity. So once I cleared the reader emails, then the other task was to look through this the same document, and then continue to verify resources and add new resources that could help people upon re-entry. As I'm going through and verifying these resources, some people's names, people don't even work for the organizations anymore. The website links would take you to Zillow. They wouldn't, or the website, some of them didn't exist, some of them were broken links. The actual addresses would take you to Zillow Home. So I think the person, whoever previously made this document, was just adding links. So when I'm the person that has to reply to these emails, I'm assuming that this is a good source that I can send to the person. So honestly, I don't know if these people got good resources if I didn't verify it. Everybody else that's verifying, I don't know if they're doing it correctly. The thing also, if I didn't say, was for $16 an hour, but we were supposed to be paid $20 an hour. That never happened. So there wasn't really the motivation of that there. Also, the boss had hired volunteers from college volunteers to only do an hour of work a week. So there's like packets of information that we send. So if somebody is inquiring, hey, I want to get into marketing on my way out, there's a marketing packet that I would proofread before we sent it. I never had the capacity or the responsibility to be able to send these packets, and everybody's asking about packets. None of the packets are ready, clearly. But anyway, when I was reading these packets, I'm like, there's so many spelling errors. It's like they didn't even try to use Grammarly, and it just looked very unprofessional. And I'm like, this is so much for one person to have to go through, and I'm doing this part-time. Meanwhile, my coworker sends me this long message, and I may have to split this into a separate video, and it's just personal, me coming to you as a friend, complaining that I'm not doing enough work. I'm like, I have to go over people's work, re-go over work before I can even start my own work, because there's spelling errors, misinformation, the reader emails. It seemed like I was the only one doing it at one point. The college kids can only work 1 hour at a time. And if this reader email is asking multiple questions and resources that aren't listed already in the document, then I myself have to research. They're moving to this county, which we don't have enough information on. I need to go and do a whole hour of Google researching to reply to just one email. You see how that can be an undertaking in itself? This nigga, I don't even give a fuck. She sends me like a complaint, my coworker, about, I'm feeling overwhelmed, it's causing me health issues, it just seems like you're dragging your feet and you don't have a good work ethic. Don't ever tell me I don't have a good work ethic, because I have 2 businesses. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I make every single meal from home. I'm constantly watching a small person. I'm managing these my businesses, and then also in the wee hours at night from 7 to 12 in the morning, I'm trying to answer these reader emails and update the information in the document. So don't ever say I don't have a work ethic. I may get a nap, and this is nap time. When he's down, I don't know if I'm going to get a nap. So don't ever say that. You have a child that is 10 years old and in school. You have the entire day before they have to come home to do work. So don't say you're not doing enough hours. This whole, I'm not even going to get into the message because it was so long and so ignorant and talking out of your neck. You weren't even talking with a brain in your head at this point. about health issues and things like that. I'm not the boss. You need to go communicate this with the boss that you're feeling overwhelmed and somehow the work needs to be levied or, you know, sorted out. That's not my responsibility. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry, because and then I had said the thing, my mom literally had an aneurysm and could have, you know, left. And I'm never gonna let myself stress and get to that point of causing a medical condition. I will never do that. Seeing that firsthand, I said, yeah, this happened to my mom. Try not to stress yourself out. That's good for you. That was her reply. So I could see the offense that was being taken. I felt like I was slapped in the face. That's all how you are feeling. You are in charge of how you feel. And I had to learn that, and I'm still learning that. I'm in charge of my feelings. If I want to feel a type of way because somebody did that, that's giving away your power. End of story. Anyway, so let's, before this drags out, I'm being spoon-fed information. I can't even send the packets that these people are requesting for mechanics, credit, how do you handle credit card, I'm just marketing stuff, how do you become a plumber. I can't answer any of these emails. I just have to say they're in the process of being worked on, because they're not sending these packets to me so I can proofread and then send them, you know. So it's whatever. I also was questioned by the boss, do I know how to Google? So that was already offensive. I'm like, you talked to me and I told you everything about me, about being an Amazon bestseller, writing my own book, and owning my own businesses. You went to prison for 15 years. My boss went to prison for 15 years and is trying to just say, do you know how to do this? Do you know how to do that? I mean, you're spoon feeding me the information, so I'm gonna act stupid. What do I gotta do for the check? What is the motivation, honestly, too, for the college kids that have to work an hour of community time or whatever? You can't afford to at least slip them a $16 or something. They old enough to work. It's not like they're underage or under 18. You should be paying the college kids too to be doing this work, because this is stupid. I'm gonna just end this video and then restart it because my video cuts out after a second. Anyway, so the second half I wanted to get into is how I received my check, and I didn't get a check. Today is Friday, March 31st. Everybody got paid this past Tuesday. And they're like, you remember I had said the payroll could be from between Tuesday and Friday. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give it some time. Some time elapsed, and I'm like, let me just ask to see if it was even taken care of. Boss went on a plane trip somewhere and my check wasn't even processed. I'm in the group, the Facebook group. I'm like, hey, I didn't get paid. Did the payroll come out? Oh, I got paid Tuesday. That's what my work partner has said. So my boss is responsible for two people, my work partner and me. How do you miss my payroll? I sent it and I made it into a PDF file and I put it into the Adobe whatever program to sign forms so they could sign my timesheet. And then I sent an email, I believe last Friday, to verify, hey, just to make sure you got my payroll timesheet. No response from that. He had to have been on vacation already or whatever on the plane already, because he was not responding to that. He overstresses himself, and it's not a good work management at all. As an outsider trying to come in and make things work and flow more smoothly, I came into chaos. So my check was in process, and I'm like, well, can you expedite it? Because I've had businesses before pretend the game, oh, I didn't process your payroll, or we're not trying to pay you. I've had them expedite a check the following day. Okay, it wasn't deposited, but I can at least go and pick it up. Why aren't you trying to do that? Or we don't have the power to do that. Yes, you do. Each business, and correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding, I've been paid petty checks before. I don't actually know the actual definition of what a petty check is, but I believe it's extra money that the business has to have. So in case they have an oopsie or they have an extra expense that wasn't expected, that they can pay immediately and it doesn't come out of personal pockets, right? So I didn't get paid, and I asked them, do you have a petty check, or can I at least get something with a check with my name on it? And they're like, the boss says in the Facebook group chat, I can give you Zelle, Cash App, or cash. most of those have fees and they have a processing wait period. I need my money now. It is now Thursday. It's 48 hours late. This nigga's like, I'm on the plane and I'm gonna get back this evening. Okay, I'm waiting around. Oh, the evening, you meant 11 at night when I was gonna be asleep with my 1-year-old. Okay, you could have at least called me. So he drops off cash, and the whole communication was, it's going to be in my mailbox. I gave him my address. It was not in my mailbox. I'm like, I check my phone. I see this message at 12 in the morning. I'm like, I'm not about to go downstairs in my pajamas and try to be in the dark looking for my mail, because the sun ain't even rose yet. So it's dark. I don't like being outside when it's dark, and it's just me. Safety, right? So then I go ahead and I check 5 a.m. Nothing's in my mailbox. I'm like, maybe because I live in a duplex, maybe it's in my neighbor's mailbox. I don't like looking in other people's mailbox. Their mailbox was empty too. So I'm like, I didn't get my money. I'm texting this person because it's like 6 in the morning after class had finished. I taught a at-home boot camp today, and he's like, I left it under a flower pot. There was a thunderstorm. We slept through the thunderstorm because now you can hear the sound machine. There's always a sound machine going. But when it's an exchange of money professionally, this wasn't professional at all. But when you need to give somebody money or pay somebody, it needs to be face to face. You need to ring my doorbell or you need to call me. I didn't want to wake the baby up. Whatever. I need to get my check. I know it's not his responsibility or whatever, but I had my account overdraw because I had bills that automatically pulled. My electric bill pulled because I was expecting to be paid to, you know, replenish that, and it's an account that I don't really fill with money like that. And I know it was out of his control or whatever, because, well, I mean, it doesn't even matter. People were paid on Tuesday. I didn't get my money until basically today. Today is Friday as I'm filming this video. And I could have like talked to the bank or something if I knew my check was going to be on the way. It wasn't even processed. So now I have to wait a month to get the check I was supposed to get this week because it's bi-weekly. So April 12th, I'm gonna get a lump sum for the last 2 pay periods. I would have had to wait a month, or I had to go through Zelle, Cash App, or whatever. Why don't you even give me a check? And then through the process, it was like, since he gave me cash, he said, okay, when you get paid April 12th, or whenever that is, because you know it's up in the air, it could be Tuesday, it could be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, when you get paid, then you need to pay me my cash back. Honey, I'm not doing that. When you give me money, it's my money. That was my check that I worked for, and your cash was short. It's unprofessional. Like, I don't even know how to say it. That's my bonus. I said that's gonna be my bonus, because we should have gotten a bonus 6 weeks into this job. You don't just wait until 6 months and then give everybody the 3 lump sum bonuses. That was not explained. That was not at the orientation. That's why we need stuff in writing. So I'm gonna keep that money, okay? Like, for the time that I actually work, don't come at my work ethic. Don't ever say anything like that, because I know I'm a good worker, and I worked through a lot of crap that y'all are so unorganized, and I tried to fix that. It's whatever. Sometimes, like, it's like, you know, the doorknob is broken and you just gotta jiggle it. Why don't we just get a new doorknob? It's just like they're still just trying to jiggle the doorknob and not try to fix the entirety of the door. This is my analogy. But for me, as a business owner, I don't ever mess up people's pay, because you don't know what it could affect. It affected my account. It can affect people's livelihood. But you will never catch me lacking with just one job, with one source of income. You will never catch me lacking like that. I have worked hard to have multiple sources of income, because I'm never gonna have a job try to tell me we're not gonna pay you, or yada yada, this or that. You're never gonna catch me like that. I just had to move some money over. But when I contract people, I was literally in labor, and I knew that there was a class going on, and they had asked for I had my instructor ask for their pay. Understandable, and they knew where I was. I was at the hospital giving birth, and at postpartum healing, I paid them same day. I would have had Carrie pay them, but I already had my phone on me. I paid my instructor for the time that they taught, same day. Yeah, don't ever mess with people's money. That was my job experience. Don't mix your work with, we can learn from this. Don't mix your work relationships with personal relationships and get emotional. We don't do that unless it truly like affected or did something that was in my control. It's not in my control. You having health issues is not in my control. This person was also looking through my pay stubs, and they were like, this work partner I was with, I swear that they were looking through my pay stubs, because they said the hours that you're working don't match up with whatever. And I look over the volunteers, the college volunteers, which I'm assuming she was hinting at that she was looking at my timesheets. So comment down below if it's illegal or goes against policy to look at your co-workers' timesheets. This person was hinting at that they were looking at my timesheets and it wasn't reflecting. Why are you going that deep into it? Worry about your money. Worry about your check and when you get paid. You don't sign my check, I don't sign your check. We got to keep this as a mutual thing. So with all that ghetto-ness, keep your work relationships and personal relationships separate. As a boss or somebody handling people's finances and payroll, you need to be up on it. Even if you go on vacation or if you're in labor like me, you got to be up on it. You can't just not pay people. It's unprofessional. This is me going on a tangent. Whoever made that word document needs proofreading skills, or you need to help that person, whoever made it, because one person, me trying to go through over 100 pages, it seems like, because the document is constantly growing. It's for all of the counties of Wisconsin, and that's just one section. And then you've got the reader emails and the replies that we need to do, and a bunch of other resources. But going through 100 pages of information that's constantly expanding for one person is a lot. And the volunteers only getting 1 hour of work, they can't do nothing with that. So organization, you need to be organized if you're going to run a business. Take it from me. With that, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, and we're going to get back to happy content. We're going to get back to crafting and yoga videos, behind the scenes stuff. And yeah, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys later. Bye.